Welcome back. If you didn't catch the first video in this series, it covers the basics about anime as a genre to give those who are new to it some context. Anime has such a vast selection that it can be difficult to figure out which anime are right for someone who's new to it. So I'm going to try to break down how to identify which anime might interest you and some good starting points for different tastes and preferences. I'm going to begin with more generalized options and then narrow it down to preference and personality. The easiest starting point is to look at the kinds of books, movies, and television that you enjoy. If you like science fiction, then sci-fi anime is a great starting point. You can probably just pick a random one and enjoy it. The same goes for romance and most other genres. If you want to get into anime starting with your favorite genre, pull up a search for anime in that genre and read some show descriptions. Look at the episode count, figure out what interests you, and what level of commitment that show is going to require. Anime does introduce some new genres into the mix. I'll just list them here. When looking through or discussing anime, it helps to know what these are so you can determine if this show is something you'd be interested in. It could have a cool cover, but then you realize it isn't your jam. However, it might still be worth a shot if everything else about it interests you. Let's move on to the anime that I would recommend to pretty much everyone. If you are getting into anime, you will eventually watch most of these, if not all of them. I think they are all fantastic starting points for anyone looking to get into anime, depending on taste and preference. Let's start with the anime which is consistently found on every single best anime of all times list. That show is... Cowboy Bebop is a short 26-episode show with music at its core, a beautiful mix of the sci-fi, western, and noir genres. It doesn't do the exaggerated animations that turn people off from anime, and its style has a more noir feeling to it. As you watch Cowboy Bebop, you'll realize that the music isn't just layered atop the animation. It's woven into the show's blood, because the music came first. Fight scenes, spaceship battles, and action scenes are animated to the music, giving it a unique, natural feeling. The story is about a ship of bounty hunters after an accident left large swaths of Earth uninhabitable, and mankind has fled into space. We follow an ex-cop, a hacker, a money-hungry bombshell bounty hunter, and Spike, who has a shady past with the mob. The show is action-packed, funny, and a ton of fun, and very touching. It's also nihilistic, and more focused on its characters than its plot, which can make it hard to follow for those who focus on plot. Cowboy Bebop is a great starting point for anyone looking to get into anime. If you want more when it's over, there is a movie, which some recommend actually watching before the last 2 episodes, so hey, go ahead and give it a shot. A newer anime which is still in progress, Attack on Titan, has amazing storytelling which is layered, intelligent, suspenseful, and full of mystery with incredible payoff. It has a set conclusion and is in its final season, so if you're okay waiting for a show to finish, you can go watch Attack on Titan now. It has some pacing issues, but it is an excellent show that will put on display the full glory that anime is capable of. Attack on Titan is about the last bastion of humanity living in a city with gigantic walls which protect them from mindless, nearly invincible giants that eat people. These giants are called Titans. One day, the wall is breached, forcing mankind to adapt and go on the offensive or go extinct. I highly recommend watching this anime subtitled, since the English dub... A certain Titan roar sounds absolutely bitch-made. Yeah, compare that to this. Also, there's no need to skip the intro on this show. It's a banger. My third recommendation is darker in nature than the previous 2. Yes, darker than a show about giants that eat people. Imagine if one day you came into possession of a book where you can write someone's name, and when you write their name in that book, they die. Would you use that power for good? How long before you slip into becoming something you never meant to be? That's the premise of Death Note, a thrilling anime that starts off with a guy trying to do good, but gradually descends into something else. This short 37-episode show is a great intro to anime for people not looking for anything cute, upbeat, or full of martial arts. And maybe don't bother with the Netflix version, just watch the anime. My fourth recommendation is the first one, which has that exaggerated style that many non-anime viewers might not find attractive. But if you've seen the first video of this series, you can walk into it with some perspective, so maybe you won't hate that stuff. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is rooted in science, has fantastic action, and a deep story that touches on humanity and the meaning of life itself. The show follows a pair of brothers whose mother dies while their dad is nowhere to be found. The magic of the world, alchemy, is science. They try using it to bring their mom back from the dead. This is a taboo in alchemy, and the kids find out why. The older brother gets cybernetics, and the two set out on a quest to find the Philosopher's Stone, which can create anything without obeying alchemy's rules of equivalent exchange. The show is full of action, politics, and philosophy. They have to think their way out of tough situations, and despite all the dark themes it tackles, the show is a lot of fun. There is another show called Full Metal Alchemist, which preceded Brotherhood. It didn't follow the manga and was cancelled, forcing it to wrap up its story. In the original, we get to spend more time with certain characters. I prefer Brotherhood. I think it is a masterclass of writing and pacing, but it doesn't hurt to check out the original. It was good enough to create a cult following, which is why Brotherhood had a solid budget from the get-go. A classic that is great for starters but may not be for everyone is Dragon Ball, the story of an alien baby named Goku sent to literally go apeshit and conquer Earth for his people. He hits his head as soon as he lands and forgets his programming. Raised by a human martial arts master, he learns to fight and harness his power. Dragon Ball is the story of Goku as a kid and his friends. Dragon Ball Z is the story of Goku as an adult. Dragon Ball Z is where all the memes about charging up for 10 episodes comes from. Dragon Ball GT is not canon, and was not very good. Dragon Ball Super is the proper successor to Dragon Ball Z, penned by the original creator. If you watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, feel free to watch One Punch Man anytime. That said, this show is full of martial arts, fireballs, and more martial arts. But the characters value family, discipline, hard work, and perseverance. Finally, the longest running anime of all time, which will be ending in the next few years, One Piece. There are about 1,000 episodes and going strong. While almost everyone sees the episode count and walks away, once you get into the show and watch everything, you'll want more. You can probably get through the manga faster, but the show's animation is great. You can skip filler episodes if you want to get through it faster as well. One Piece is an absurdist anime about Luffy, who is on a quest to become king of the pirates and find the legendary One Piece treasure. We meet him before he has a boat or a crew and watch him gradually build up to being one of the most powerful pirates on the seas. The show is fun, wacky, and its logic is consistent, despite the wackiness. It's deep, and it's not afraid to confront issues like death, slavery, abuse, and child abandonment. Thankfully, we follow a fun, wacky crew of pirate badasses who don't put up with that kind of crap. Other recommendations based on what you're looking for are the giant robot anime Big O and Gurren Lagann. For superhero anime, check out My Hero Academia, a show about a world where most people are born with a superpower and superheroes are a profession. Or Tiger and Bunny, which is about corporate-sponsored superheroes. How could that go wrong? Mob Psycho 100 is about a powerful psychic and his con artist mentor. Anohana, Violet Evergarden, and Your Lie in April are fantastic, heartbreaking dramas. For action, Sword Art Online is about a deadly game that traps people inside it until the game has been beaten. If you're looking for vampires, witches, and the supernatural, I recommend Hellsing, Witch Hunter Robin, Bleach, and Demon Slayer, which is only one season in and one of the biggest shows of all time. If you're looking for magic and wizards, Fairy Tail is a good place to start. If you're looking for some pervy anime with sexy, jiggly bodies bouncing across the screen, Queen's Blade has explicit nudity, while Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is more fantasy-focused with heavy fan service. Funny enough, fan service anime like that has fantastic animation. Lastly, since I want to focus on animation that doesn't come from the United States, I'll mention Avatar: The Last Airbender as a must-watch show. There is debate about whether or not it counts as anime. That doesn't matter. you should watch it. It's one of the best animated shows ever. It doesn't matter if it's anime. If you're looking for anime movies, you should check out Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Ninja Scroll, Your Name, Spirit Away, and actually pretty much any 2D animated movie from Studio Ghibli. Now, here is my list of bad recommendations, or anime I would not recommend to beginners. These are anime that you should watch once you're more familiar with anime. First up, One Punch Man. People will recommend this to you when you tell them you're getting into anime. Don't listen to them. They love it because they've been watching anime for a while. The thing is, One Punch Man is a satire of shonen anime, in which often there is a lot of fighting and struggling just for the hero to show up in the end and save the day. One Punch Man is the most powerful person on the planet, but he started off doing superhero work for fun, and now he's bored. Come back to One Punch Man later, once you find yourself making fun of predictable formulas often found in anime. Fooly Cooly. I love Fooly Cooly, but it is an absurdist anime. If you like absurdism, get to know anime a little bit before you check it out. The show did some cool, crazy, and really fun stuff, but it is pretty nonsensical. I recommend, like One Punch Man, coming back to this one later. Fate Zero. Any anime from this series is a terrible recommendation for beginners because all the ones I've seen are terribly paced. Once it gets rolling, the action is awesome and it's a lot of fun, but until then it's a huge drag. Beginners should not have to struggle through the beginning of a show to get to the good part. And last up on my list of bad recommendations is Baccano. This anime about immortals is pretty cool, but it is also told completely out of order. Best to be a bit acclimated before checking it out. That's all I've got for now. As you watch shows and find things you like, mentioning those in conversation with anime fans will yield more productive recommendations. If you have any shows that you'd recommend to a beginner, or if you'd like to share the anime that got you started in the comments with a little bit about the show, I'm sure that would be helpful to anyone looking for more recommendations. Also, I surely missed a few great suggestions. I'll be diving into these shows, genres, recommendations, and much more in the future. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you back soon.